Now we are going to move on to our next segment in which we talk about the origin episode takeaway. Previously on the channel, we covered the origins of football in Germany. Do check out that video over here. So, what should India learn from Germany? What was maybe one takeaway from exploring their origins? Again, what we might talk about would not be only specific to Germany. We might observe the same fact in some other footballing nation and vice versa. But for the sake of these series of videos, we are going to consider the following as the only takeaway from Germany. And our takeaway is a longer domestic football calendar. Let me expand on that to make it more comprehensible. First, let's have a look at how long the Indian domestic season lasts as compared to that of the Bundesliga. We have added the seasons of both the Indian Super League and the I-League on the graphic. 4 months for India as opposed to 9 for Germany. And as you can see, the difference is quite evident. Now, if we were to add the 4 remaining top European leagues as well as the Major League Soccer season for good measure, still we observe there's a stark contrast. But you know what, we are comparing apples to oranges here. How about we compare domestic seasons of countries who are in the Asian Confederation? Still we observe that the Indian domestic season, which only lasts for 4 months, is nowhere near the 9 of most of the countries shown here. Their domestic season lasts more than twice as compared to that of India's. Needless to say, that's just not going to cut it. If Indian football has to take giant strides in the future towards a possible World Cup berth, it seriously has to consider a longer domestic season. 4 months annually are too short to make any kind of difference. A longer domestic season translates to more on-field experience for our footballers. Given the overseas talent that is available in the Indian Super League and the I-League, playing alongside them for a better part of a year will only improve the existing skills of our Indian players, which will help India to excel at the international level. Having said that, as more teams or franchises get added in future seasons of the Indian Super League, we will probably solve this issue. However, as things stand, the status quo will prove detrimental to India's World Cup dreams. Now we'll briefly give you some statistics about football in Germany which we didn't speak about in the Origin series. Germany is a member of FIFA since 1904. It was one of its founding members. Today it has over 26,000 registered clubs spread across the country. Germany has over 6.6 million registered licensed players, that is 8% of its total population, which plays football in some capacity, that is amateur, semi-professional or professional. Now, if we were to have the same proportion of people playing football in India, we will need a total of 112 million, that is 11 crores. So here are our 4 takeaways from 4 Football Origins episodes so far. Plenty more to follow. So that wraps up this segment 2. Let us know in the comments below about our takeaway from the Germany episode. We are going to talk about our football history of other nations, do some introspection along the way as a footballing nation, and most importantly, ask ourselves what India can do to get our time in the sun at the biggest sporting event of them all.